You are watching the NHL Roundup. Welcome to the NHL Roundup. I'm Mike Jackman. There's been some surprise teams in the NHL this year. Winners of 5 of their last 8 and points in their last 8 games. The Winnipeg Jets have been one of those teams that have been flying high lately. And Saturday night they hosted the red-hot Anaheim Ducks as part of a very busy night in the NHL. One of 13 games, and that's where we're going to start off. Let's head to the Peg. The Jets have a power play in the first period, and they're going to open up the scoring as Brian Little's shot is going to make its way past Frederik Andersen. A power play goal for the Jets, and they have a 1-0 lead. It stayed 1-0 to the second, but the Ducks have the answer now on a power play. Jacob Silfverberg's shot's going to beat Michael Hutchinson off the post and in, and everybody getting the Christmas spirit. Silfverberg ties this game at 1. The post was the best friend for the Ducks in the second period because they're getting another one off the post and in. This one comes courtesy of the captain, Ryan Getzlaf. Off the post and in, 2-1 for the Ducks, their first lead of the game. As Michael Hutchinson plays this like a hand grenade, and it blows up in his face. Getzlaf in front to Nate Thompson, and the Ducks have a 3-1 lead. In the third, the Jets are trying to cut the deficit to 1, and they come so close. Lowry in front of the net chips it, but it goes off both post and the crossbar. When nothing goes your way, you wind up on the losing end, and that's what happens to the Jets as they drop this one 4-1 to the Ducks. Red Wings and Leafs from the Air Canada Centre. You're going to see a big save coming up here for Jonathan Bernier off Darren Helm. It looked like Bernier was down and out, but he comes up with an acrobatic save to keep this game at 0-0. Detroit power play now. If you can't see it, you won't stop it. And that comes true right here as Nicholas Kronwall lays into one top shelf past Bernier. 1-0 Detroit. Now at least get a lucky break on their power play. Shot for Kessel goes off the skate of James Van Riemsdyk past Peter Mrazek. We're tied at 1 going to the second. In the second period, you saw that save by Bernier earlier, and here Peter Mrazek tries to upstage him with a save like this off Peter Holland. With the glove hand, he keeps this game tied at 1. Time running down in the second. Richard Panik's going to get sprung on a break. The only question is he going to panic under the pressure? No, he's not. He's going 5-hole on Mrazek, 2-1 for the Leafs. Then the Leafs are going to open up the third the same way they ended the second, with a goal. This one's going to Morgan Riley as he's going to find a kink in the armor of Mrazek with this shot. Gives the Leafs a 3-1 lead. An empty netter would make it 4-1 as the Leafs stay hot, beating the Red Wings on this night 4-1. We go to the island for the Blackhawks and the Islanders. Hawks are going to get the first big scoring chance. Sharp's going to find Brian Bickle. His shot, though, beats Halak, but not the post, and we're still scoreless in New York. Then Nick Leddy's going to be stripped by Brandon Saad coming up here, but this time Halak doesn't need the post to bail him out. He does it himself this time and still keeps the game scoreless. Not to be out down at the other end, Scott Darling in net for the Hawks. He's going to come up with a huge save off here, off Kyle Okposo to keep this game 0-0 to the second. Halak goes back to work in the second period, coming up with 2 big saves right here off Brendan Saad and then off Duncan Keith on the rebound as well. Then at the other end, Scott Darling again comes up with 2 big saves, first off Kuhlman and then off John Tavares. This game doesn't stay 0-0 for long though as the Hawks are finally getting on the board. Daniel Carcillo's shot. Halak makes the initial save, but you watch the puck go up in the air and it winds up making its way back to the back of the net. Makes it 1-0 for the Blackhawks. But just after that, Duncan Keith, yikes, bad turnover to Cal Clutterbuck. He puts it past Scott Darling. We're tied at 1. Stayed 1-1 to the third, and then Patrick Kane's going to get sprung on a break, and we've seen this so many times from this guy. Backhand, shelf on Halak, 2-1 for the Hawks. But the Islanders are now working on the power play, and the Hawks can't clear it out as Nick Leddy makes a big keep in here at the line. John Tavares' shot from the point's going to be stopped by Darling, but there to put home the rebound at the side of the net, Kyle Okposo right there, and we're tied at 2. Just 1 minute and 1 second later, the Islanders get the game winner. It's going to be Lubomir Visnovsky. He's going to outweight Scott Darling and go blocker hand. As I said, that's the eventual game winner. Islanders win it 3-2 and snap the Blackhawks' winning streak. Halak made 23 saves in the victory. We go to Buffalo for the Panthers and the Sabres, and it's the Sabres who open up the scoring early. Cody Hodgson takes a pass and a quick release pass Al Montoya makes it 1-0 Sabres. Under 10 minutes to go in the first period, and the Sabres are going to increase the lead. Marcus Foligno goes 5-hole on Mr. Al Montoya, 2-0 for the Sabres. But in the second period, Ristolainen's going to turn it over here behind his own net to Brad Boyes, over to Sean Bergenheim. His shot goes off at the Sabre defender in front and into the open goal, and the Panthers are on the board down 2-1. Then after a Panthers power play winds down, they may not get a power play goal, but they get a goal though, and it ties it up. Sean Bergenheim over to Jimmy Hayes. No chance there for Jonas Enroth. We're tied at 2 in a brand new game in Buffalo. Then with the Sabres power play winding down in the second period, Matt Molson in front of the net thinks he's going to have a power play goal, but he hasn't met the left hand of Al Montoya yet, right there, and he still keeps it tied at 2. Here, the Sabres can't get out of the neutral zone as Dave Bolin pokes the puck away, and he's going to feed the streaking Jussi Jokinen. His quick release beats Jonas Enroth, and the Panthers have their first lead of the game, 3-2. Sabres are going to tie things up. Tyler Myers is going to spring Brian Gionta coming up here. His shot's going to go off the post, past Al Montoya, and his 4th of the year as a Sabre makes it 3-3. This game would need overtime, and in the overtime period, it's going to be the Sabres that win it, as Tyler Ennis, great patience, and he feeds a streaking Nikita Zadorov. He's the hero on this night, as the Sabres win it in overtime 4-3. Capitals and Lightning from Washington. Washington power play here. They're going to set up superstar Alex Ovechkin, but the glove hand save by Ben Bishop keeps this game scoreless. 10 minutes left to go in the first period, and the Lightning think they're going to get the lead as Steven Stamkos has a wide open net to shoot at, and it's 1-0 for the Lightning. Or is it? Because Ryan Callahan going to the net wound up taking out Braden Holtby in the process, so that is going to be no goal, and we're still tied at 0-0. You can see Callahan right here. He bumps into Holtby, taking him out of the play. In the second period, Ryan Callahan gets another great opportunity to put the Lightning on the board, taking this one to the net, but he can't beat an outstretched Braden Holtby there. We're still tied at 0. The Capitals just came off killing off a 2-man advantage, and for a reward, Nicholas Backstrom to the backhand. He beats Bishop 1-0 for the Capitals in the second. Nearing the last minute of the second period, Backstrom's at it again. A little bit too much mustard on this shot, and Bishop can't handle it, and Backstrom puts home his own rebound. His second of the night makes it 2-0 for the Capitals. So Backstrom got 2 in the second to lead his team to a 2-0 lead. How about 1 in the third as well? That 5-hole shot makes it 3-0 for the hat trick, and here come the Hats in Washington. 5 minutes left on the Lightning shows signs of life thanks to a pretty passing play. Nikita Kucherov to Matt Carl to Tyler Johnson to the back of the net with that shot, and the Lightning are on the board down 3-1. Going away. Before the 2-minute mark, Matt Carl's going to find a way to beat Braden Holtby here as he outweights him and beats him short side to make it 3-2, and the Lightning are back in this game. But all that work goes for naught for the Lightning, because it's going to be a turnover at center ice, and Eric Fair's going to take advantage. Bullseye right into the open net, and the Capitals double up the Lightning 4-2 on Saturday night. Devils and Stars from Dallas. It's the Stars that open up the scoring as Tyler Seguin loads up for his 23rd of the year as he blows it by Corey Schneider, 1-0 Dallas. About a minute or so after that, Seguin gets back at it again. This time he gets an assist. He gave it to Jason Spezza. His wraparound didn't work the first time, but he bangs in his own rebound, and it's 2-0 Dallas. But in the second period, Devils get on the board. John Merrill's shot is going to beat Kerry Lutton in high blocker, and it makes it 2-1. The Devils were tied on a goal by Eric Jonah, but back come the Stars again. Trevor Daley, one-timer, beats Corey Schneider, and the Stars are back up 3-2. A little bit later, Werner Fiedler is going to find Sean Horkoff streaking to the net. His deflection goes through the legs of Corey Schneider, and the Stars now have a 4-2 lead going into the third. In the third, the Devils are still down 4-2, and they got the goalie out. It's going to be Scott Gomez at the side of the net, following the bouncing puck to make this game 4-3, but the Devils would come up short as that's the way this one ends. The Stars pick up the 2 points, winning it 4-3. Now we've got the Wild and the Coyotes from Arizona. First period, the Wild get on the board on a power play. This shot from the point. Hey, kiddies, it's finding Nino. Nino Niederreiter tips it in front past Evan Dubnyk. 1-0 for the Wild. But then the Coyotes turn to their superstar to tie things up. Oliver Ekman-Larsson converts on that pass. It's a good goal, and we're tied at 1. In the second, this shot from Ekman-Larsson gets blocked in front, but Antoine Vermette's the one that cleans it up in front, beating Nicholas Backstrom, and the Coyotes have a 2-1 lead. But then Michael Zucker gets sprung on a break, and he Zuckers Devin Dubnyk in with that deke, and that ties this one up at 2. Still 2-2 and time running down the second period. Laurie Korpakowski's going to take this pass, and his shot gets stopped by Backstrom, but he picks up his own rebound to follow it in, and that makes it 3-2 for the Coyotes. Under 5 minutes left in the third period, the Wild looking on a power play and looking to tie this up, and they're going to do it as Zach Parise wide open net at the side, no chance for Dubnyk. We're tied at 3, we're going to overtime. In the overtime period, watch all the time Mikko Koivu has in front of the net, goes to the backhand, but Devan Dubnyk with a huge glove save to keep this game alive. Second shooter for the Wild would be Mikko Koivu again, and this time he shows a little shake and bake and top shelf, and the Wild win this one in a shootout. To the TD Garden for afternoon action between the Bruins and the Senators. Here, Robin Lehner is going to give the puck away to Brad Marchand, but he gets bailed out by his defenseman Erik Karlsson from putting it into the open net, and it's still 0-0. But if you keep giving teams shorthanded chances, eventually they're going to score like this. Craig Cunningham finds a way to beat Robin Lehner through the pads, 1-0 Boston. But in the second, the Suns have the answer. Turnover in their own zone here, and Mike Hoffman makes them pay as he's going to find Mika Zibanejad, who waits Tuukka Rask and slides it home. We're tied at 1. The Bruins look to answer Daniel Paya at the side of the net, but all he hits is a post, and this stays at 1-1. Time running down in the second, though. Miller is going to find Louis Eriksson in front of the net. He makes no mistake past Robin Lehner, and this game is now 2-1 for the Bruins. An Ottawa power play is going to tie things up here. This shot from the point by Kyle Turris is going to be stopped by Tuukka Rask, but there to bang home the rebound in front is David Langwon. We're tied at 2 in Boston. This game would go to a shootout. With the score 1-1 in the shootout, third round, here comes Patrice Bergeron. He shows great patience and has Robin Lehner at his mercy, but Robin Lehner shows no mercy with a right pad save to keep it out, which means Bobby Ryan can win this one for the Senators. So here it is, game on a stick. Bobby Ryan can win this for the Senators, and Tuukka Rask, I think you need a brand new wardrobe because he undresses him with that move, and the Senators get the extra point in Boston. Some afternoon action in Philly between the Carolina Hurricanes, Philadelphia Flyers. Flyers open the scoring early. Sean Couturier gets 3 shots at this. He finally beats Anton Khudobin there at the side of the net. 1-0 Flyers. Under 10 minutes left to go in the first period, and Wayne Simmons is going to get lots of time to do this. With that bullet, he beats Anton Khudobin, and the Flyers have a 2-0 lead. Still 2-0 Flyers in the first period. Nicholas Grossman's going to get a great opportunity to add to that. He makes a great move around the defenseman, but he doesn't have the hands to finish it off. But the Flyers still take a 2-0 lead to the dressing room. Now in the second, the Hurricanes are going to get on the board on the back of Eric Stahl as he makes his way around the defenseman with a nice wraparound on Steve Mason. Hurricanes are on the board. It's 2-1. After Jacob Boychuk made the score 3-1 for the Flyers, here comes some history for them. Scott Lawton's going to get his first NHL goal as he goes off the post and in, off Anton Khudobin, makes it 4-1. Flyers add one more and cruise over the Hurricanes 5-1 on Saturday afternoon. Now we go to Colorado for the Avalanche and the Blues, and a power play for the Avalanche. Shot from the point by Eric Johnson finds its way through Jake Allen, and the Avalanche have a 1-0 lead. But now it's the Blues that are enjoying the power play, and with it winding down, Kevin Shattenkirk gets into the middle of this scramble, and then it's going to fire it past Calvin Pickard, and the Blues are on the board now. We're tied at 1. And now Alex Steen shows he's got eyes in the back of his head with a no-look pass to David DeBackus, but Calvin Pickard's got eyes too, and he's got him on that puck to keep it 1-1. We're in the second now. It's 2-1 Blues, but there's Eric Johnson. His second of the game beats Jake Allen. We're tied at 2. This game stayed 2-2 to overtime. Barrett Jackman to TJ Oshie. His shot beats Calvin Pickard, and the Blues win it in overtime, 3-2 over the Avalanche. Now we head to the Shark Tank for the Predators and the Sharks. The Sharks are winners of 6 of their last 7, and they get off to a good start here as Joe Thornton finds Joe Pavelski. Pekka Rinne is going to make the initial save, but there to put home the rebound is Thomas Hertl, and the Sharks have a 1-0 lead. With under 6 minutes left to go in the second, Pekka Rinne is doing his best to keep his glove in it. Big save off Scott Handon, and then a huger save off Patrick Marleau to only keep this game at 1-0. In the third period, James Neal gets a great opportunity to tie things up, but Antti Niemi passes that test against him and keeps his shutout alive. Then it's going to be a heads-up save off Olli Jokinen there, using his head, and now the empty netter coming up. for Joe Thornton. He puts the icing on things as the Sharks blank the Predators on Saturday 2-0. Now we've got the Rangers and the Canucks from Vancouver in the first period. Jesper Fast is going to find Ryan McDonagh going to the net, and the Rangers have an early 1-0 lead. Now Derek Stefan's going to feed JT Miller, so it's Miller on Miller, and it's the Miller in the Rangers jersey that gets the last laugh. JT beats Ryan, and it's 2-0 for the Rangers. Back come the Rangers again. We're not even 10 minutes into this one, and they've got a 3-0 lead now, thanks to Matt Zuccarello beating Ryan Miller top shelf. Still in the second, watch the pretty passing by the Rangers. Rick Nash turnaround pass to Derek Brassard over to Matt Zuccarello for his second of the game, beats Ryan Miller, makes it 5-0, and the final would be 5-1 as the Canucks have now lost 4 in a row.